Yes, I got a job as the cook in the bus garage, and of course everything went wrong. Because that's the straight nick the Wolf and Chesney took from Panto. You know, because you get all those kitchen scenes in Panto. And they just incorporated that as a big scene in the film, you know, with burnt food and all the rest of it. They also got me a job as a conductress in one of the series. That only lasted... I never had a job that lasted more than 2 days. She was great, Olive. She never really worked. She had a job as a... They always were jobs at the bus depot, and they never lasted more than 2 days. I can't remember where I saw the second film. We got blasé about it by then. Went straight back into the studios and started doing our telly-series. Then I divorced Arthur in the television series. And then we went and made the third film, with Arthur and I still together with the baby. The fact that it was on location, and the fact that none of us had ever been to a Pontius camp before, and the first thing that impresses you is the barbed wire around it, and it turns inward, you know. And the fact that we were shooting with the public there, quite extraordinary, because they're coming up and asking for autographs in between and things like that, and sort of talking about you while you're doing a scene. Oh yeah, she's fatter than I thought, or she's thinner than I thought, you know what I mean? No, he's not as big. And it's you become sort of, you get tunnel vision. You just have to do it. And of course, being on location, people enjoy themselves more. There's a lot of boozing at night, which led to 1 or 2 fracas in the bar, I seem to remember. And I think someone kicked the hotel door down. I can't remember why. It was just one of those sort of heavy booze-up series, you know, sessions. The bus's crew, by this stage, we all knew each other so well that we were quite rude to each other. You know, just automatically we were quite rude to each other, and guest stars couldn't understand it. They thought we were really that nasty to each other. You know, I mean, Michael would say to me, "Get it right, love," you know. And, you know, Stephen would say something. They just didn't understand the way our humour worked in those days. She used to wear a lot of brown dresses, didn't she? You know, really brown, fuddy-duddy dresses, with the long bloomers. Because a couple of times, I remember one episode she said to him, "You don't look at me, I've got just as good legs as her." He was looking at someone, and ripped my dress off, or ripped my dress open, and I had these long bloomers on. And Michael Robbins just collapsed in laughter, wept, because I hadn't mentioned it to him. I just sort of presumed he knew. And there's actually a shot on one of the episodes of him walking out of frame, crying with laughter. The director left it in to tell us that we had to learn how to behave ourselves. I remember the first time I ever had a row with Arthur on television, and I retaliated. And we'd done about 30 episodes by then, and then suddenly I retaliated and threw something out. And the whole audience burst into applause, which was quite extraordinary, because I just wanted to see Olive go back at him. And from then on, they built it more in. You know, she became a little bit more argumentative. She would front him up. But she adored him. I don't know why he married her. Perhaps because he slept with her. You know, I wouldn't have thought Olive was too difficult to get into bed. She was so eager. And they were just stuck together. In those days, working class people didn't get a divorce, so they were stuck together. How could they divorce? There was nothing to divide. They'd have had nothing. So, you know, and what was really very sweet is that Michael and I obviously developed a close friendship over. You can't work that amount of time without becoming friends. And when he died, and I went to his funeral, the priest mentioned his second wife, which was really very sweet, I thought.